Hey everybody, Kevin here. Here's a little something for your performance edge. Now here's the deal. We get into a new year and we have all these thoughts and ideas, right? Look at it this way. It's probably, let's pretend like we go back in time. And it was a week or two ago and you were driving in the car and you're sitting there going like, yeah, in 2025, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be more like this, and I'm gonna chase this, and you know what, I'm gonna say no to this, and we get all this going, and all of a sudden now, what's the date today? Let me look at my watch here. So today is the 8th, okay? So we're in the 8th, right? And it is a blip on the radar, right? We're kind of going, and then the dissatisfaction starts to sit in. And the self-talk starts to creep in. And we don't say it out loud. I think sometimes we get into a place where it's kind of like a little thing between our ears. It's kind of like that little nagging dissatisfaction, this little internal pissed off kind of version of ourselves that kind of antagonizes and tortures us a little bit. And so when we get into that level of thought processes, we begin, and along with the fact that there's no sunlight, we start getting a little bit depressed. And the question is what do you do with that? Like, how do you break out of that doom loop? Because that's kind of what happens. And trust me, scrolling on Instagram and TikTok ain't gonna do it, pal. It's gonna require you to really think of what's it gonna take in terms of the clarity of mind and spirit, or whatever that picture is, or whatever is going to have enough energy to push me into it past my action threshold. There's this level of a threshold that we have that holds us back. That, like, trust me, if there's a serious enough outcome that's going to happen to us, our threshold breaks really easy, right? We can break through that and go like, oh, I got to pay that bill, or I don't want to get a ticket, or I don't want to, we have all kinds of things that we dial into, but when the pain of something, but when it comes to improvement, we fight this thing called the resistance. Seth Godin calls it the lizard brain. It's that part of us that tries to sabotage us and tell us that we're not good enough. And there's all these beliefs that we have, and these lies that we start believing about ourselves, and narratives that we start telling ourselves about ourselves. And it just takes us all the wrong way. So how do we defeat that? And I really believe this. I believe this with all my heart. This is what I would challenge you to do. I would challenge you to do this. I ask my clients sometimes, I go, hey, what's the story you want to tell for this month, or for this quarter, or for this year? What's the story you want to tell? If it's the end of this year, what's the story that you want to tell? And usually this is very conversational, much kind of what we're doing right now. And I would recommend this to you. I would definitely get your phone out and hit your voice notes and start telling, like, hey, at the end of this year, and say and begin to go through the process of articulation. Now, that's one aspect of it, but what I want to encourage you to do is get it out of your head what that is. Because chances are, when you were driving in the car, you were thinking all these things you were going to do. One, you didn't write them down. Two, you didn't say it out loud, or you didn't record it. So let's just move into a particular action step that would say, hey, look, I'm just going to verbalize this and capture it. And then I want you to listen to it. But I want you to listen to it like every day. I want you to listen to you hearing your voice say to you the story you want to tell for either this month, this quarter, or this year. What are the things that I'm going to, at the end of December, at the end of March, I want to be here. I want to experience this. My relationship with my wife is going to be here, or my husband is going to be here. What are those things that you're going to say out loud to yourself, that you're going to listen to and then begin to internalize? Because here's the thing. There is an outcome that has to be so vibrant and so real to us that it would push through that action threshold to the point to where, look, I just need to do the first thing on the list. There is one thing that I know I need to do first. Now, here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. The first thing you need to do, I'm giving you, get ready, this free, baby. I'm giving you this. First thing you need to do is you need to play that video for 3 people in your life you're closest to. And then you need to be able to go to them and say, hey, I'm going to ask you to hold me accountable. Now, here's what I mean by accountable. Accountability for you is the willingness to be questioned. In other words, you don't have to get defensive when they ask. They're going to say, how are you doing on your thing? And you need to ask yourself, am I in the process of telling that story? Am I living out that story I want to tell? Am I doing the things? Am I moving on the things? And you just give them permission every week just to ask you. That's accountability. Accountability ain't anybody yelling at you or beating you up or you in trouble. But it's that those 3 people who care about you, who care about whatever this thing is that you're saying out loud that you want to see happen in your life. They care about you enough to ask, how are you doing on that? And I will guarantee you, a needle of some sort, some breakthrough will happen on that in that action threshold. It won't necessarily have to be anything negative that is driving this thing. It can be everything that's positive about what you're trying to accomplish in your life. And you'll have people who love you cheering you on. So listen, it's a team sport, baby. Growth and development is a team sport. It's not a solo gig. So, hey, bring everybody in your circle around you and do some damage. Always remember, when you see the invisible, you become unstoppable. Take care, everybody.